viewers. My name is Kenneth Bird. I'm the creator of Cream Ambient Rejection Screen Paint using Ambient Rejection Technology Gain. I thought I would do a demonstration real quick to show you that we would just give you a preview that what might happen and what could happen. All right, so, and the challenge, the projector has to be 10 feet back and it has to be done in a fully lit environment. Number two, the projector has to be 600 by 800 res, 720p. And on my end, I have to display always, at all times, I must display white levels using 1,000 lumen or under projector, which I'm using right there, my Sony VPL CS4. Over here, we have Crow Screen Paint. We have the UV mix here. And we have a lighter gray screen paint of this mix there. Now, that sample goes back way back. I'll show you the video actually when I purchased this product and painted that sample. But yeah, that video goes way back. So anyway, I still keep everything. So I'm showing you what would happen if you were to attempt the challenge. And I'm just giving you an idea of what's going to happen because I know about this because I used to design light gray screen paint. I've done gray screen paints, dark gray screen paints in the past. I know what's going to happen, especially when I've had to test that stuff against our own black technology to see what the results would be. Now keep in mind, I did a demonstration with all our screen paints together, which would be the 9, the platinum black, and the 12 to see exactly which ones produced the highest contrast level. So pretty much already did that one already. So in that challenge, you can use a projector of 1,000 lumens or under 1,000 lumens at 10 feet back. It has to be done in a fully lit environment. All right. So what would happen if he attempted the challenge? If he attempted the challenge, this would have a demonstration. Now keep in mind that if he tries to, don't look at my screen. My screen's not there at all. Look at the 2 sample sheets. That's all you need to look at. That's how his screens would display if they were hit on a star field at 10 feet back in a fully lit environment. If we did attempt to do the challenge. Now, just in case if the challenge is not met, what's going to happen is we're going to paint one side screen, but still have the screen paint products here. We'll paint one side of it with one half, one side with the other half, and we'll do the demonstration for him. Like I said, if you're going to challenge our technology, you have to be able to back it up. So, like I said, I have to do demonstrations against high performance projection screens. I have to do demonstrations against showing of white levels and all these different form of high bright images on my screen. I don't know why anyone else is developing this kind of screen paint, why they don't have to display contrast levels. Now, if you notice, I don't review his products. I don't bother reviewing his product. But every time I design something new, he has to review everything I make. So I'm basically challenging your technology, and that's what I'm doing. So if you were to pull any black contrast levels, just to show you, this is how the results would pick up. I already know the outcome. He can't do the challenge. It's impossible. He couldn't do it. I can honestly tell you that. Now, only thing is his gray screen, light gray screen, would pick up, as you can see, because it's a brighter screen. But look at our black technology next to his gray screen paint. His light gray. I can easily take your technology and stick it right over there. And my screen still produces a high enough white level even in black and white to be able to present a high enough white level. Now you see where if I do it in black and white, you'll see where his screen paint, even the lightest mix he makes, doesn't even pick up any black levels at all. Now see, that's what I'm trying to explain to you. Now the darker version he has will pick up some sort of contrast level because it's darker than the lighter mix that he makes. But if you put it in black and white, only two colors are being presented. In order for the black screen to show detail, it would have to be to pull contrast. In order for you to be to see the screen off the black screen, you would have to be able to see white levels. Where his lighter gray screen paint mix is not producing any form of contrast level whatsoever. All you're seeing is white levels, and that's why there's no detail to it. Where the gray screen paint he designs, the UV, is pulling a form of contrast, and this is why you have the ability to be able to see detail in the images here and here, but as I said before, produce 100% contrast level. It produces a certain level. That's why when you put on a star field, the screen turns gray. Now, like I said, if I do it in black and white, and I show some pretty flowers in the background, a lot of white pushing up the flowers, you will see the white display on our technology. You will see the contrast pull up, which means you can see the details on the flowers. When it comes to the light green screen paint mix, you will see nothing because it will automatically wash out because there is no contrast there at all. This is why you have to do your homework. I can break your technology down on so many levels. I do the same thing with high performance projection screens. I do the same thing with their technology. If I were to go over, swap yours out, and put yours back over on the screen over here, and I were to grab, let's see. I told you, you do not want me reviewing your stuff. I'm very thorough about my demonstrations. Want me reviewing your stuff, trust me. Now I'm going to do two high performance screens to see how they pair in black and white. Now, the reason why we do the black and white, we shoot it in black and white, is because this allows you to see how much the white levels are pulling off the black screen. Also shows you the contrast. You have to have contrast there in order to see the details in the flowers. If the screen is producing too high of a white level, then it's going to show nothing but a white level. If it's producing too much of a contrast level, then the white the detail is not going to pop up. Now, same thing that your technology just went through, the high performance screens go through, because we test on everything. We don't just go, oh, we're just going to test on one thing. No, we test on everybody. So don't feel like you're being singled out, because you're not. This is how you demonstrate. This is how I test my technology out. We do levels of pulling. So we take the Gray Cinema 5D. We'll take the Dark Star 9. Two different screens. One's actually darker than the other one to see how high their contrast levels are pulling up on black and white. You're only going to see two colors that are going to pop up on the screen. If they're producing too high of a white level, that's all the camera's going to pick up. It's white and black. That's it. You have to have a balance. If you have too much of a contrast level too much of a white level, your screens are going to suffer. This is what I've been explaining over and over again. But see, when you do demonstrations, or mainly in the dark, these companies do the same thing too. Demonstrations mainly in the dark, ambient light controlled environments, high powered projectors. We're not using any high powered projectors. We're using a 1,000 lumen projector behind me. Sony 1,000 lumen 720p projector. I told you I'm doing my demonstrations on this cheap old projector behind me. They're using high expensive projectors. The projectors do most of the work on the screen, number one. They're using poorly ambient environments. That means the screen's not taking in any form of real struggles. Neither are the projector, because it has to do with less light. That's what ambient control is. They're controlling the ambient light in the environment, where it's set, where it's put at, keeping it far from the screen, but not too far to make the environment look like it's well lit. Smoke and mirrors. There you go. That's smoke and mirrors for you. And they're not going to do the demonstration in black and white, so you could see the difference. Now, same thing here. Because you want to get all hurt over this. It is what it is. The demonstration should be done correctly. It says UV mix. That's the darkest screen paint he makes. Right there. See how that screen is not displaying any form of contrast whatsoever. It's not displaying any form of images on the screen at all, because the screen is producing too much of a high white level. The UV mix, on the other hand, is producing a form of black and white, but here's the thing. It can't produce 100% contrast. It's only going to be to produce a black level to a certain degree. We'll put it back in color. And there you go. So our screens produce a high enough white level, high enough. That's not, like I said, it's not going to be to compete in white levels when it comes to a gray screen or a white screen, when it comes to white levels. But when it comes to colors, when it comes to contrast, these screens are not going to do too well. So let me come over here to my phone. And we'll pull up a blue screen. And there you go. Too much contrast, not enough contrast. This is what I've been explaining the entire time. Got to do your test thoroughly. If my screens have to go through all this crazy, rigorous testing, I don't see why yours shouldn't either. That's why I put that challenge out. It means every last demonstration you're going to do on that screen has to be done in a fully lit environment. It has to be done on contrast only. I can produce white levels on my screen all day long. I can do it outside. I can produce contrast levels. But your screen is going to have a really rough time producing an image on a star screen image right there. Now, even though his screen, the UV mix, pulled up in black and white, pulled up a much better contrast level than his other screen here, of course, because look at the contrast level, it's going to pull up higher than here. This screen will not pull 100% contrast level because it's dark gray. Because this is a black screen, and this will show you exactly what you're actually getting when it comes to contrast levels on his darkest screen paint mix. That's what you're picking up. You're not picking up gray, you're picking up not picking up black, you're picking up a version of a shaded gray. Let me go change this over back to my scenery, which I have my white flowers. Put my white flowers back on display over there. So this is what will happen. This is like a prelude. This is what's going to happen if you do the challenge at 10 feet back on a projector of 900 lumens. Even at 1,000 lumen, it's going to react the same way because I can switch it over there to a star screen. It's going to react the same way. I can give you 1,000 lumens more. I can go in and give you 1,000 lumens more. If you say it was not fair, you have you on a lower end projector. So what I'll do is I'll swap out and I'll bring you over to the other screen, which is running 1,000 lumens and about to pull a star field. So there's a star field running on the other screen. Let's see if your screen paint reacts the same way if I were to put it over here on 1,000 lumens. Well, you pick up a different contrast level because the projector has the ability to give you an extra 100 towards your lumen count. Let's see if that changes anything. It doesn't. That's going to be a hard test for you, to challenge to get through. If you do the challenge, which I doubt you're not going to do it. And if you don't do the challenge, I'm going to order me a 100-inch screen. I'm going to coat your technology on one side. I'm going to coat your other technology on the other side. And we're going to take down my screen and we're going to do a demonstration as it's supposed to be done. So I gave you 1,000 lumens extra. I swapped you over from the 900 to the 1,000 lumen projector. And if you're going to do that demonstration on any form of contrast, it's not going to pull. That's why when you see him doing demonstrations on that screen, it's always on bright colors because that screen will survive better in a well-lit environment. He can't do a solid star field. He can't do any form of deep contrast levels. So why is it on my end that I have to prove you by showing beautiful snow scenes and beautiful white flowers and skin tones, and you, on the other hand, will avoid any contrast demonstrations whatsoever? Let's see, where's my phone at? So let's go and grab my phone. Let's put in J&K demos. And let's pull up bright demonstrations for me, which I have to go through all the time. And I don't mind going through them. I like it. There's my screen displaying bright white levels, colors, something that my technology is not supposed to be able to do. It's supposed to be so dark you can't see it. I can do commercials, the whole 9 yards. So let's go in and let's show some of the white levels on here. Now, if my screen can display its white levels, bright color, all that, I don't see why you can't show off your screen doing contrast demonstrations. It's only fair. That's what I believe. It's only fair. We can back it up. You should be able to back it up. It should not be a problem. So I don't know what the problem is, but like I said, giving you a bit of a prelude on what you're going to have to go against. Let's see what happens if we do the get this mouse dies constantly all the time for me. Let's pull up, let me see. Here's another one. It's called Sony 4K Contrast Demonstration 2. That's another demonstration you will have to do in a fully lit environment. Now, this is not showing my screen versus his. It's basically showing you if my screen wasn't there in the picture, this is what the image will look like. He does this in a fully lit environment on a projector of 900 to 1,000 lumens. It'll react the same way. Well, on my screen over there is producing a nice white snow level with two foxes, or whatever the heck those things are, with no problem whatsoever displaying white levels. If he doesn't do the challenge, then you know where he stands. That's all to it. But he's not going to pass the test. That's all to it. I already know from the door. If you request to see white levels on our technology, there it is. Oh, he's going to produce a high white level. That's definitely going to happen. That's not a problem. The problem he's going to have is not going to be to produce color. His colors are not going to come up correct. If I do a color pattern on this, his screen is going to fade like crazy. We can pull white level. That's easy. Any light screen can pull white level. Let's go over and let's pull up. Let me see. I need to grab. This is a black contrast test. You can go into keyword and put in black contrast test. I'm going to pause this right here for a minute. I'm going to come over and figure out where my phone is at because I want to pause that image right there. I got to track down my phone first. All right, I'm going to pause that image right there. You see, you can produce a good white level, but it's not good because you can't produce contrast, and that's where the screen starts to fail. That's what it should be called. Okay, tap that again. Oh, it did go. Okay, it's moving. I'm going to Frankenstein mix next. That one I don't have. So I will be placing the order. It doesn't make a difference if you alter or change it or whatever it is. It's going to have your name attached to it. Just like when we did the demonstration and I was asking for your lighter mix and you gave me the darker mix, that came back to bite you in the face later on. So it really doesn't make a difference. With this color coding technology we're developing, whatever you send over here, we're going to be able to use it with no problem. So it doesn't make a difference. So I'm going to request from Curl for Frankenstein mix. That's what I want next. I'll have a friend place the order for me. He'll keep me up to posted if the order was canceled. So we'll be asking for that one next. And like I said, it doesn't make a difference if you alter or change it. That color coding technology we're using, it doesn't make a difference. And so if you alter or change it or give us the wrong brand or whatever, it still has your name attached to it, which I have over there. And against color coding technology, I don't think, it doesn't make a difference. But we'll see. I'm going to request it. I'm going to transfer some money over to a friend and have him request your Frankenstein next. If you deny the email, I'll have him screenshot and send me the email back to me so I can have evidence that you did cancel the order or you denied the order. Honestly and truthfully, you should have just left the 12 alone. When you were doing the demonstrations against the 12, trying to make my product look bad, you should have just left it alone. Stop doing these shady demonstrations. I'll come in here, I'll do a demonstration and keep it real for you. I'm not going to do a fake demonstration. I'm not going to give you any bad disadvantage. I basically put you on both projectors, the 900 and 1000 lumen projector. I'm showing your screen basically what it would look like if it were to produce an image in a fully lit environment, a real fully lit environment, using the projectors that I chose in the challenge. Just in case if you decide you don't want to do them, I will give you a window to see exactly what it looks like. So like I said, same thing. If any other company decided that they wanted to test out my technology, I would have no problem testing theirs out either. That's why I have their sample sheets here. So if you want to throw your hat in the ring and you want to review our technology and not do the demonstrations right, I will do them for you. Now, I will be requesting your Frankenstein mix next. That's what I'm requesting. I will contact a friend today. I will transfer him over some money, and he will purchase your paint. If you basically cancel his order at any given time, I will have him screenshot or forward that information over showing that the order was canceled. Because on your eBay account, you have local pickups only, which means me being in Philadelphia, I would have to drive over to California to pick up your product. So since you're doing email requests, I will have him email you, contact you to get your product. If you cancel that order, it clearly shows that you have something to hide. You have no problem with harassing customers to get the product from them, offering them a trade out for your screen paint. Maybe I might let one of them basically give you our product. I don't mind. You can buy my product right on the website. It's right there. Go to the website, buy it. Or I might let one of my customers right now say, hey, look, if he contacts you asking for paint, give it to him. I'll replace your paint, give it to him, have him trade you for one of his. So he can ship it to me. So we can do it that way too. If you want to cancel orders from people that I have trying to buy product from you, then what I'll do is next time one of my customers contact me and say, hey, Ken, this guy's been contacting me. He's asking for a trade out. I will give them whatever paint that they give to you for free back to them. And they can basically ship me your screen paint that you don't want to basically get to us. There's two ways. There's more than one way to skin a cat. That's what my dad used to say. So since you want to harass my customers and you want to offer them $50 or you want to offer them some of your paint for trade, I'm going to tell them, go ahead and trade with them. I'll send you your paint for free to back up yours and you send me his. That's how we're going to do it. And I got one in particular mind. I got two people you've been harassing, so I'm going to contact them and let them know. As a matter of fact, I'll send them a gallon of our technology for doing it. I'll send it to them. And I want you to give me, I'll give you a gallon for whatever you paid for. I'll up your bounty, give you a gallon or 3 quarts on what you traded in, and then you just give me what he sent to you. That's all. And there's more than one way. You want to go that way and harass my customers? I can have my customers figure a way how to send that paint to you. So anybody out there, if Crow basically offers you screen paint for a trade for our paint because you won't go through our website, I will up your order, which means your order will be up by, if you order 1 quart and he comes in, he offers you paint, or he contacts you, and you can show proof that he has contacted you, send me that email, which will not be displayed. No one will see that email except for me and the customer. I will go in and say, hey, look, you ordered 1 quart, I'll give you 2 quarts. That's what I'll do. And then you just send me his paint, and I'll just send you 2 quarts instead. Until then, I'm going to have the other fellow request the Frankenstein mix next. What will that go against? We're going to put the Frankenstein mix against that sun killer technology that took that hit outside. That's what that's going against, outside at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. And keep in mind, it's not, you feel like it's just you. It's not just you. I got big companies I have my eye on. And like I said, I get no credibility off you at all. Now, a company like Elite Screens or DMP Supernova, one of them big companies, yeah, I get credibility off them. Because I can clearly show that I was able to either match or outperform a screen that's a name brand, that's certified. That's a trophy on my shelf right there. But yours, on the other hand, is just basically just teaching you a lesson to just stay in your lane. That's it. And since you want to do sneaky stuff and contact my customers and try to say, hey, look, I'll trade off of this, well, I want to have my customers, whoever basically gets an email from this individual, and you can show proof of it, and I will not display your email here because between me and the customer, I will offer them, if they order 1 quart and they trade the 1 quart to you, they'll get 2 quarts from me of my technology, and they will take the quart that you gave to them or whatever and give it to me. Because I'll get that one way or another. I'll get it. Or if bottom line is, I'll just have somebody email you today to get the Frankenstein. And if you cancel his order, if you deny his order, I'll make sure he sends that information back to me showing it was canceled or denied. That's why, if you notice on his eBay account, he has it set as local pickup only. Because we tried this back in 2019 to order his paint, and we did it live. The order was done live 3 times. He canceled all 3 orders. And then he pulled down his listing, so we couldn't get access to it. And for those who don't believe me, it's time-stamped and we recorded it. But then again, I got a special gift. Somebody over there was able to get his product, and that's how we got a few of his things over here. We got the UB mix because he called himself being smart, because we were going to test his lighter gray screen paint mix against a paint that he made online. And he actually used to give his product out for free. Y'all don't know that, do you? His product used to be given out for free. Then he started charging people for it. So we were going to make it against the paint that he displayed for free to see how close it matched up. Also, too, against Behr silver screen and other gray screens. As I've been asking people who do gray projection screens, if you're going to do a gray screen, you should do it against other gray screens and not white screens, which we do with the black silver. Now, because he did not come through with a request over and over again, he finally broke down and sent us screen paint, which is the UB mix I have in my hand right now. He sent us a darker screen paint, knowing that we needed a lighter screen paint. Like I said, always pulling all kinds of tricks. And eventually, in the long run, it bit you in the face for you to send that to us, because now, even with your darkest screen, we're basically using that as a demonstration on how it compares to black technology. And now that we have coating technology, well, pretty much anything that graces our table that you have is pretty much not going to do too well. I can paint a purple screen and blow your screen out with a purple screen. I can blow out Elite, Black Diamond, any of those screens with a purple projection screen. If I really wanted to be really ignorant about it, I could paint the screen pink and still blow it out. Now, as you're seeing, my display here at 1,000 lumens produces white levels, and here I'm showing you a dark contrast level where your screen can't even pick up. And not only your screen, the other screens don't pick up either. So it's not just you. There's no cutting corners in here, Crow. We don't do dark environments. We don't do any of that stuff. I don't have to use a high power projector to make my screen look good. I don't have to use ambient light in controlled environments. I don't have to go through any of that. Nothing can beat the black screen when it comes to contrast. Nothing. So the excuses are not there anymore. You can't say, well, he's producing such a bright image because his projector settings are way up high. I'm using a 1,000 lumen projector. Can't say I'm in a dark environment. I don't do those period at all. So I've never been accused of doing demonstrations only in dark environments because I'm always in the light all the time. So you can't accuse me of that. Can't be my phone settings because I can change my phone to black and white. I can actually record my phone settings as I'm showing you, which I've done in 4 videos. So this is why we issued a challenge, and he's not going to do it. And there you are, 2 certified projection screens sitting up there right now. Saving you hundreds. Where are you saving hundreds at? That's a $1,400 projection screen and a $3,000 screen on a 900 lumen projector that has 0% contrast. Let's move this screen back. This is the screen we painted today. That is the splatter screen. 4,300 lumen crispy projector, 720p versus a white screen. Doesn't pull up. So if I do this demonstration has to be done outside. If we take your product outside and pour a star field, what do you think would happen? Which I'm curious. Let me see something. Let's do this right now. Put you guys right here. I got my white screen over there. I'm going back to my this right there. Y'all can look at that at the same time. I'm going to come over here to this. Oh, my screen's dry. Yeah! Demonstration of this bad boy right now. Where did I put this at? I can do a demonstration off of it. Crap, it's dry. All right, yeah, we got to do a demonstration off this bad boy. I think I can hang it somewhere where I can do a demonstration off. I think I'm going to hang it right in the doorway and hit it with something. Oh, yeah. My freaking screen is dry. So, yeah, I got some fun to do with that, too. Let me put that back in there. And a heat wave, tropical heat wave. Let's come in here for a minute. We're on the splatter screen. Let's come in here for a minute. We're on the splatter screen. My screen is officially dry, so this is going outside today. I can't wait for this. This is going to be fun. I want to put it in the driveway, but my neighbor's like, oh, he's putting a screen out in the driveway. He's starting that nonsense again. Oh, jealousy. Now I'm going to come in the backyard to play around with it. All right, so here we are on the splatter screen. On the splatter screen, here's my tape. Over here. Take the light gray screen paint mix and let's put this right against the white screen like that. Hopefully that stays. All right, and let's take the UV mix. Let's put it right over here. So you can see how much of a difference. So there's the light gray screen paint mix against the white screen. It ain't too much of a difference. I tell you, light gray screens and white screens are they're too much the same. It's only by off by a little bit, that's it. And then there is the UV. My screen's dry, so I'm happy. Now let's put it against a black screen. That's 100% black. There you go. You're smoke and mirrors. If you take this and put this, like I said, anything can beat a white screen. A white screen would make your screen look incredible, as we're doing right now. But in our demonstrations, we can display bright colors and all that stuff, and you still wouldn't see it pick up on a white screen over black technology. Now, we don't test our screens on white screens. We show the difference of our technology in white screens. I test my technology against higher performance screens than my screen. I go against screens like the Darkstar 9, Gray Cinema 5D, that Paxel screen, that black screen they have in there, the Matinee Black. I test my stuff against high performance screens. I even test my black screens up against black fabric, black paint, black house paint, which I did those demonstrations also. You don't do that. You test your product against a white screen. You know what happens when you test your product against a white screen? That means what happens is you're basically just showing off a fake display. Because anything can beat a white screen. Anything. That's nothing to put your challenge against is a white screen. That's why when you come up against black technology, your screen is going to fade. But on here, if you put it against a white screen and you say, hey, look how amazing the contrast levels look. They look just like his screen right here. There's no difference. There's no difference. See, in the white screen, there's no difference. There is a difference, Crow. There's your difference right there. Me a little closer. There's your difference. You gotta stop testing your stuff on white screens all the time. Big companies do it too. Watch this. The white screen, it's the first thing to do. Here we go, white screen. Look at the contrast level against our screen versus a white screen. Anything's going to beat a white screen. Literally, anything. That is not a freaking platform you want to base your technology off. But look how dark it is. Look how dark it is. All right. That's what you look like next to black technology. You should have been testing your dark screens against dark gray screens. Because if you can make that screen produce a more heavier contrast or produce a higher white level than a light gray screen or produce a higher contrast level than a darker gray screen than yours, now you got something there. Just like we can come in and show you a Starfield demonstration and a white wolf using 1,000 lumen projector on a white screen, on a black screen. That's what makes our technology different. It's called doing your work. That's what it's called. I don't care if these companies get mad or not. It is what it is. You test your technology on a white surface, something that's easy to do, then what's going to happen is when somebody like me comes along, your screen's going to get crushed. Because I do things differently. I do things the hard way. I would never, ever test my technology based off a white screen. That's why I can do this challenge easy with no problem, and you won't be able to. So, anytime you feel that you don't want to do the demo challenge, I'll release you from it because I know you won't be able to do it. That's all. If you can't do it on your darkest gray screen, makes you chance your white screen would have a chance against it. The only way they can produce a somewhat decent image is, like I said, I have too much ambient light in the environment. That's what it is. I have too much ambient light in here. That's why the screens are not holding up too well. There's too much ambient light in my environment. I need ambient light controlled environment. I need some lights here and there and there, and I need them pointed away from the screen, and maybe some lights here and there. I need it away from the screen. This environment has too much light in here. That's what it is. That's the problem. Maybe my projector's not bright enough. Maybe I need a much brighter projector. So using 1,000 lumens in here is just, it's not professional. So maybe I need to go out and get a 5,000 lumen projector so I can show a decent image in here. If that's the case, that's pretty sad. It really is. That is pretty sad. You should be able to pull an image, contrast, white levels, colors, no matter what the environment looks like. And you shouldn't have to use an expensive projector to do it. I would hang this and do this. I might do a demonstration on the screen today. It's already dry anyway. Blow back. Told you, if you're going out and putting your money into a cheap product that's not properly tested right, you're going to get what you paid for. This is why you sit in the dark. This is no contest at all, but it is what it is. I can pull brighter images. Could even pull the PS4 menu. You're just as equal to a white screen. That light gray screen paint you claim to bring higher and brighter colors. No. You do higher and brighter colors because you're in the dark when you do those demonstrations. This is a fully lit environment we're in right now. I have 4,300 lumens on my projector, and it's a Christie. It's a top tier. And you're not pulling. You're actually displaying the same exact pale image as the white screen. Bit of an eye-opener, isn't it? Smoke and mirrors, people. Smoke and mirrors. That's what you're getting. These people who claim that they can give you true contrast. They can give you white levels. Yeah, they can definitely give you white levels. But your color's going to come out, wash it out, and fade it. Now, like I said, just in case you decided you didn't want to do the challenge, I decided to show you what it would look like. These aren't your screens. Actually, that is your screen right there. That is actually a Dark Star 9. This is called a contrast test. It's a screen calibration night screen test for contrast. Show the black levels on the screen. This is your darkest screen paint called UV Mix. It's not going to pull contrast regardless. It's not black. Yet you're going to have to do this demonstration because you're going to have to show both of your screens. Even if you say they're not ambient light projection, ambient light projection technology has nothing to do with contrast. It has something to do with gain, the ability to be able to produce a screen in a fully lit environment. That's all it is. It has nothing to do with contrast. Now, my demonstrations, I got to show white levels. And in your demonstrations, you got to show the black levels in a well-lit environment. could have a chance if you take the lights out for you. But not in here. There's got too much light in my environment. You're not going to have a chance in here. Even if I do turn my lights out, you're still based on a suffer. So someone said, well, it's too much light coming here. You should put curtains here. And you should put curtains here. Why would I do that? Why would I put curtains there and there? For what? What would be the purpose of that? Because the environment should be darker. Oh, I see. So that's where you got to be at. That's not where I got to be at. I don't have to be in a dark environment. Like again, he painted a picture. My technology is so dark you can't see it on a white level, but yet I can't even see yours in contrast. Let me show you something more interesting, bro. Do you know if the screen appears to be too dark, as I said this before, if it appears to be too dark, and say you want to do some computer work on your screen, right? So in order for you to see text on the background of your screen, that means the backlight levels would have to pull up high enough white levels in order for you to read the text. Wouldn't that be correct? Tell me if I'm wrong on that one. At 900 lumens, my screen is pulling a white level high enough that you can read text. Actually, not a white screen, but a black screen producing a white background that allows you to be able to read text. So how is it possible if my screens come up so dark that you can't even see them, but yet I'm doing that on 900 lumens at 10 feet back in a fully lit environment, and you could read the text crystal clear all the way across the screen with no problem whatsoever. So how is that possible? But you displayed the demonstration where my screen was so dark, you couldn't even make out the image of the woman's face. That's interesting, isn't it? Something to think about. See those colors being displayed on that screen? It's producing greens, reds, blues, whites, grays, different shades of day grays, different shades of white levels on 900 lumens. Let's see what happens if we switch this over to black and white. How would this change? What would the screen see then? White levels, black levels, different shades of whites, different shades of grays. You can even see the little counter at the bottom. If the screen was producing nothing but a heavy black level, you wouldn't see any of that at all. And also you can see the wolf crystal clear. The contrast in his nose, his eyes, all the whiteness around his fur and around the screen with no problem. And you can see my black technology displaying. When I told you that I can do demonstrations that can completely bury your technology, I can do that. I chose not to do that because I thought somewhere along the line you would get in your head to just mind your own business, but you don't mind your own business. So all this week I will be testing, reviewing your technology now. And I will be doing it the correct way. Color patterns, color tests, everything. We'll be even doing outside demonstrations very soon. So all these little tests you see, the technology has to be tested under all this. Let me go back to Woofy Woofy because he's on display too long. Let me go over here and put him back in. There we go. Oh, you're gonna like this. There we go. It'll go from the brightest all the way down to the darkest. Whew. Impressive, isn't it? Like I said, all these tests you're seeing right now, we've done these already over and over and over again when testing our black technology out. This is color code technology. Remember I told you the screen has the ability to read color, even if the surface is black, even if it's blue, if it's purple. This isn't screen paint where you're mixing black and gray paint together. This is technology. Let's see what would happen. A light gray screen paint is supposed to be able to pull, because it goes on and on about how the best way to go is a light gray screen paint. The best way to go. And that's in his demonstrations about how you don't want to go near a black screen, because black screen is going to give you a screen that's going to color is going to be too dirty and you're not going to be able to see the images. So if it's not going to pick up on a lighter, brighter image of the screen, then what good is it going to be when you get over to the darker end of it? How's that going to prepare? How's that going to work out for? It remains the same no matter where I stick it. You do not want me doing thorough demonstrations or on your technology. You do not. I could say paint, not technology. You don't want me doing thorough testing. This is thorough testing. When I'm talking about getting down to the nitty gritty, no colorful effects on the screen, none of this, none of that. I'm talking about basically showing straight color pattern to show exactly how the screens react, how the projector sees the screen, different colors of light. You don't want me going down that road with your technology. I'm telling you, I will grill the daylights out of your screens. This is the same rigorous testing our screens have to go through. This is why that 900 lumen projector is hitting that screen and it's reading color. Because like I said, it's a black screen, but it has color coding technology embedded in it. And that's what's giving the black service the ability to be able to recognize white levels, black levels, different forms of shades of white levels and grays and multicolors of different shades and different colors. Yeah. But a gray screen, this right here can't pick it up. You know why? Because it's house paint. That's what it is. It is everyday house paint. There's nothing different to it. It couldn't even pick up the bright levels on the screen. When the screen is projecting bright greens, it couldn't pick it up. It couldn't pick up even the mid levels. It couldn't pick up any of it at all. Not even the dark greens, nothing. So this projector right here is a $39 cheap projector. Chances are he's going to have to go for or big companies have to go for expensive projectors in order to make up for what the screen is lacking. That's why they have these high-powered projectors to make up that Ultra 4K and laser. The projector does all the work. The screen doesn't do any of the work. It doesn't do any of the work at all. Period. Does nothing. Go back on this again and show you again. Now, one of the things he slandered about our technology, he kept saying that light gray screen paint was the best way to go because it'll give you brighter images. Well, we'll do a color test here. It'll run it back to the dark sides too. Yeah, I feel sorry for all you went out and bought that paint because you just got scammed. The only thing a gray screen is going to be to pick up is a white level. That's it. That's all it's going to pick up is a white level. And our black technology picks up a white level so high that it does not disrupt the picture quality of the screen. See that? Our white levels on our black screens are never going to be as white as a light gray screen or white screen, but it's not going to be so dark that you can't see the screen. You can prick it right now. You can see the wolf or fox or whatever that is crystal clear on that screen with no problem at 1,000 lumens. Can this screen pick up without fading? Do you have any idea how many shades of green and blue and red and orange there is? So how many shades is of colors or is your projector screen actually picking up? Hoo-ah. That's the $1 million question right there. What we got going on next? Oh, we got blue coming up. I'm going to do all of them. Meanwhile, you can look at my white screen over there. Like I said, it's supposed to produce an image so dark you can't even see it. So here comes blue. Yeah, you got scammed. Yes, you did. It's funny how the person who everybody thought was a scammer was the person that actually was doing it correctly. And the person that was telling you that his product, yeah, he was telling you lies the whole time. And there it is live. I'm showing you. Whether you want to accept it or not, it's there. It's there for you to see. Enjoy. Enjoy. It's there for you to see. Exactly what you're getting off a light gray screen paint mix. The gray ones can't even pull. They can't even pull a proper contrast level. So that time when he's doing his campaign, saying you want to go to light gray screen paint mix because your images are going to come out brighter and they're going to come out more vivid. No, your images are coming out washed out. That's what they're coming out. That's what's happening. That's why if I asked him to do this demonstration in a fully lit environment with that projector I'm using behind me right now, you can't do this demonstration. Ain't no way in the world I'll pass it. Look at my wolf over. Look how beautiful that looks. This is sad. You know that, right? This is really sad for him. Boom! Black screen pulling a white level on 1,000 lumens and watching my screen at the other end blow his screen out of the water by showing color patterns at 900 lumens at 10 feet back. I'm going to request your Frankenstein next. All that doing those mixing colors. No. We're going to break it down. We're going to break it down. That's what we're going to do. And then these demonstrations will be done outside because this is the easy part right here for these screens. But this ambient light is nothing for them. They're used to actually flexing outside. So we're going to be doing that. That's why that giant screen over there was painted. Because we're going off the deck down into the backyard. We have 10 times, and since I don't have the tree back there now, no shade, nothing. Just trying to see how far we got to go on this. Oh, this is going to get brutal. We got colors, everything's going. I'm just going to let it run. That's it. Yeah, like I said, he sat there and made those accusations about how a light gray screen is better than a black screen. The black screen is going to produce an image so dirty you can't even see it. Okay, we'll see. Let's go through the test. I'm going to change my screen over here to something brighter because it's a little too dark with the reindeers on it. Let's see if we can find something brighter than that. Let's see if we can go with what have we got? Any bright white flowers? I'll take some bright white flowers for that. There we go. Put some bright white flowers on the other black screen. That's supposed to produce a dirty image. And we'll keep going through the colors on his gray screen paint mix and see how it reacts. California, they'll do a local pickup. They'll come to your house and get that paint. So they will do a local pickup, just to let you know. So since you're only doing local pickups only in California, I got a lot of ties in California. I'll have somebody go down and pick that paint up for me and bring it back. If you want to go offer my customers $50 or you want to offer my customers some of your paint, well, I'll make a deal with my customers. If you contact any one of them, I'll double their orders. And if they give you the paint and they have proof of that transaction, they can just ship that paint to me. So either way, I'm going to get my hands on it. If you want to do local pickups, I'll contact one of my business partners or one of my associates and they'll come pick it up. And I'm requesting the Frankenstein now. That's what I want. If you want my product, my website's right there. Place your order, I'll ship it to you. No problem at all. Now, if anybody suffers from seizures or whatever, next screens, I think they flash. You may want to basically back away from the monitor or TV or whatever you're watching this on, because I don't want anybody getting any seizures off of this. I'm hoping they don't flash. Let's see. Yeah, this one's flashing a little bit. I hope it's a slow flash. That's sad, man. That's not good. And I want to press this button so bad and just pause it for you and just save you the time. You're not going to do this challenge. All right, I think you had enough of that. That was brutal. That was a bit brutal. Let's go back and do the whatchamacallits for you real quick. That was a bit brutal. No, not intentions. You have to understand, my intentions are not in a way to basically to destroy your product. My intentions are basically to show you how demonstrations are supposed to be done. My screen's reacting now. It'd be different if I just had your paint only in this demonstration, just your paint only, and I did that demonstration. That would be wrong for me to do. My screen would have to be in there with yours in order to do the demonstration correctly. No, not so you don't feel like you're being chosen and picked out and all that. That's I was gonna get rid of it for this one, but who cares? If they did the demonstration not against the white screen, maybe they wouldn't have this problem to begin with. I swear, one of these companies that contact me, that was a fair demonstration. Well, why would you even test your technology against a white screen? Like, why? I'm just gonna do a demonstration. I'm gonna get it all white screen. I'm gonna take some bare silver screen. I'm not even gonna paint the screen. I'm just gonna take and splatter it all down the side of the screen. And I'm gonna show you that you can improve that screen even if you don't even paint it. It's a white screen. Anything's gonna beat it. So we're gonna go with the Gray Cinema 5D. All right. Whew. Just looking at that, I know that's gonna be bad. I know. A little bit. Oh, did I hit the, sorry about that. That's what happens when you test the screen against a white screen, which you should not be doing. And of course, they're probably going to complain and say, well, the projector you're using is well below what we specificate for a projector to be. Well, if I'm going to spend $1,400 for a projection screen, should it make a difference on if my projector is 900 lumens or 5,000 lumens? If I'm spending that kind of money. Well, you got too much light in your environment, and that is basically conflicting problems on the screen. Again, if I'm spending $1,400 for a projection screen, why should it really matter? And it's ambient light projection at that technology certified. Why should I have a problem if I'm in a fully lit environment? This is my environment right here. I don't have any special lighting. I have one light in the ceiling. That's it. What's the problem? There's no more excuses. All right, so that's, oh, I don't want to do the pack, so that's not going to go well at all, but it's, should I do it? I don't know. Let's see. This is a Darkstar 9. As I showed you, it's a much darker screen, as I told you before. All right. Now, these tests that you see me doing, or I have to do when I first start developing my screen printing, this is a process you won't see because this is when I'm actually making and mixing chemicals together to see exactly how they're going to react to light. So these are demonstrations that I don't show, but I know the screens have the capability of passing these tests. This is when I'm first making the formula, and I have to see exactly what chemicals are going to marry well and how they're going to react to light, how they're going to react to color. So the chemical has to be broken down and seeing exactly what reacts and what marries well and what doesn't marry as well. So these are the tests that I have to run. The tests I are tests that are basically showing what the screen's performance can do. But when we do these tests like this, I have to see how the screen paint is going to react, how it's going to produce, what chemicals I need to produce brighter colors or more higher white levels. This is stuff you can't see because this is what I'm making it. So I have a projector set up downstairs in the basement that allows me to be able, when I'm testing this stuff, to be able to see each part of the ingredients as I'm building it, how it's going to react. And I said, if you're not seeing people doing demonstrations on this level, don't even bother with the product, because I'll show you exactly how the product is going to react. Now, I'm not saying don't buy their product. I mean, it's up to you if you want to spend that kind of money, but like I said, they do their tests. They do their tests and all. It's just that every test I see is on a white screen. I'm like, why are you doing white screens? And I think for them, mainly because they're big companies, and they, you know, for them, majority of companies still are using white screens. So I guess it works for them. I guess that's their strategy, that they're dealing with companies and other people who still have white screens. But what happens when it gets to a point where white screens don't exist anymore and everybody just has gray screens? Then where do you stand? See? That's why you got to test your technology on things that are harder. Because let's say one day that all white screens don't exist anymore and everything now is all gray screens. So where do these screens stand at? If they're testing their technology against a white screen instead of testing against a gray screen. Instead of testing against, that's why we designed the black silver. If you notice, the black silvers were never tested against based off a white screen. They were tested against other gray screens. One of these days, I'm gonna come on here with a really crazy, complicated screen. And when people sit there and say, "Can you explain?" Like, no, I'm not gonna say a word. You figure it out. I'm only joking with you. Some people find this educational. Talk to people so they learn a lot from me because I show them exactly what they should be seeing. Because in a lot of the demonstrations that I see, and I watch a lot of them, they don't do these demonstrations. They're not going to show you this stuff. They're going to bring out that high power projector. They're going to put that ambient light control script. And they're going to say, hey, this is how it looks. This is how beautiful it is. You got to buy this screen. I know it costs a lot of money, but hey, it's worth your dime. That's what they're going to tell you. And then I'm going to get a hold of it and show you this. And you're like, what the freak did I just pay for? And then I'm going to show you exactly how much it would have cost you. Pretty much next to nothing. So let's see. This screen is the Darkstar 9 at 100 inches, $3,000. My screen is a 235.1 at 138 inches. It cost me around $500 and some for the screen. And if I bought the screen paint and I was a customer, it would cost me $187. That's the Darkstar 9, by the way. And the projector I'm using is $49. An old relic projector from 1999 that doesn't have any form of color wheel or any of that high technology capability of producing bright, beautiful images like these high-end projectors today. There's no 4K, no laser, none of that. Just a cheap 1999 projector. Something that somebody would probably gut out, fill it with sand, and use it as a doorstop. And we took that old projector and used that to be the screen that was $3,000. And on top of that, the original screen we painted on is a silver ticket, a white screen, which we turned their technology into black technology and used that screen to beat a $3,000 screen that only cost me $500, probably about $60. That's it. Kind of interesting, isn't it? And we're using that projector to actually show the high performance of the silver ticket versus the 3000 lumen projector in color patterning. Mind blowing. That would spend too much money. And for those of you who are not spending too much money and you're trying to get a better picture, a better quality screen, a lot of people are on budgets. You know what I mean? They're trying to figure out exactly how to get the best projector possible, how to get the best image. They want to use it in a fully lit environment. They don't want to be in the dark. They want to have beautiful, bright image. They want to have all that good stuff. But, you know, these big companies out there telling like, you got to buy this projector. You got to have this. Those are doing the hobby screen paints. They're selling you something that's not real. That's why I can take this product and throw it up there and it doesn't work. They're going to cut the corners and they don't want to do any of the tests. And the big companies do all the tests, but they cut corners by doing the tests on white screens and high-powered projectors. Then a company like me comes along and we say, hey, we're going to use cheap, crappy projectors that nobody else will touch with a 10-foot pole. We're going to develop a screen paint that will make any projector look fantastic. No knockoff projector. To look incredible, and you don't have to spend an arm and a leg. You can paint over anything you want. Go buy a cheap white projection screen. Go buy one. See that surface right there? This is a this is my 150-inch for outside. That screen is 150 inches. It cost me $48 for that surface. The screen I'm going to be putting out there next week is going to be 250 inches. You know how much that screen is going to cost me? $98 to put that screen outside. And it's going to be all covered in black technology. So right now we're having this sale on the screen paint, and the screen paint is going for $98. And usually goes for $160 for a quart. But we're going to do it down to around $98. It will come with free shipping. Sorry, we can't ship it overseas due to the fact that the COVID-19. They're still not allowing us to ship overseas, and I wish I could because I do really like. I have a lot of good customers overseas, and I want to ship over there, but I can't. So we can only ship here in the U.S. Shipping is free. Just to let you know, if you are overseas and you do have somebody for you, we can ship it to them. They can ship it to you. We can do it that way. That's the only way we can do it. So that sale will start on the 10th. It will be ended on the 17th. I was going to put 1,000 in the shopping cart, but I'm probably going to put a lot more than that in there. So it isn't like I don't want people saying, well, you just pick on him. No, I don't pick on him. I do demonstrations against everybody in the high-end screens. I get no credibility off Crow. None at all. I get credibility when I can show somebody who has money that can blow about $3,000 and $4,000 on a projection screen and is going to ask me, hey, look, show me the difference about why I should buy your product. What's the difference between your product and that DMP Supernova or that Dark Star 9? And I can go, well, here you go. Here's a demonstration right here. And not only that, I'm showing my white levels on a screen over here using only 1,000 lumens. And a oh, let's go. Like I said, I could easily sell out to any one of these big companies because one of these companies can sit in here and say, well, gee whiz, he did that to our Dark Star 9. What the freak? I actually used their own screens against their own screens. That's an elite screen in there right now. That's their newest screen right there. It's coated in blue. I used that to actually beat a $3,000 Dark Star 9, which was their own screen using their own screen. Now, one of these days, one of these guys are going to sit there and go, Ken, can you develop a technology for us, or can we buy you out to get rid of me altogether so I'm not there anymore? So we can basically take technology and advance it and make it look even better. Or Silver Ticket, who I turn one of their white projection screens, their cheapest white projection screens, into a technology that beat a $3,000 Dark Star 9. And they may pop up one day and go, you know what, hey, look, I'd like to buy that coating, that technology you have to be able to do that. Because if they have that technology, that means they could easily wipe that company off the face of the planet with no problem whatsoever. And they can do it at a 900 lumen projector. Now imagine if they come in with that 4K or that P1 or one of them and they hit that screen. Oh, that's going to be freaking annihilation right there from the door. And this technology is ultra short though compatible, which means you don't have to buy an extra screen. You can take it outside if you want and use a 1,000 lumen projector. So like I said, one of these guys decided to see what it already happened the first time. It happened with Screen Innovation, but that didn't turn out too well because we got angry toward each other. But anyway, that's another story in its own. Just leave that alone. But anyway, still, like I said, If any of them were to pop up and do that, keep in mind, if I decide one day, like, you know what, I'm tired of this business, I'm sick of it, blah, 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 I'm selling out. How much do you think that technology would cost you if they coat this to one of their screens, knowing that that is $3,000 by itself? It's going to be a whole lot more than $160 to a quart. A whole lot more. Because their intentions are going to be to get me out of the way, which once they buy me out, I'm gone. I'm not designing anything out. Not that kind of money they're going to give me. No, wait a while. Why would I do it? But I'm not going to do it because I love what I do. That means I have to get up every single morning and do nothing. People don't understand that. Do nothing. I don't care if you have that kind of money. If you sell your passion, what do you have left? Nothing. I enjoy getting up in the morning doing these demonstrations. I enjoy the crow boys that come at me with all kinds of dumb nonsense. I enjoy that. So what would I have? What would I do? Nah, I like what I do. I like this. I like it a lot. So that's why I never sold out. I like what I do. Let's do this darker one right here. Now this is a very dark screen, right? You've seen these right here. Dark. I should do good in the color pattern test. Like I said, these screens right here, and I don't understand them. Why they have this reflective material, I don't. Maybe because they said it reflects more light. Maybe they said because it's designed for ambient light rejection. I don't know, but it doesn't do well. I mean, I'm just saying, you decide for yourself. Oopsie, dropped the screen. Look at the gain on it. Oh, definitely. I'll tell you one thing about daylight screens. I got to get into this. This is the biggest sample sheet I've ever seen in my life. Now, if I turn my lights out, that's not going to do much for the screen because, as I said before, my theater room still takes in a lot of light, which I prefer for it to take in a lot of light. I don't want to be in the dark, dark, dark. And most people, if they had this setup, what they would do is, like I said, they would put a curtain there to block that light in, and I'll put a curtain here. I'm not putting a curtain across in my theater room for what? It's an ambient light rejection technology. I shouldn't have to put curtains in here for what? Screen's supposed to be designed to actually thrive in a fully lit environment. So I shouldn't have to use a curtain because I'm afraid my screen's going to wash out. The thing about it is, I don't have to do demonstrations all day on Crow's Paint because I get more thrill out of doing demonstrations against the high performance screens. Oh, that's where my thrill hits. So in my demonstrations, I can test his product, I can test their products, I do them all at the same time. Where when he does my demonstrations against my stuff or reviewing my stuff, it's just my product only. He wouldn't dare put that stuff up against his and do it in a well-lit environment. I've seen him do the Dark Star 9 and he didn't even do the demonstration right. He should have did the Dark Star 9 and he should have pulled a contrast level. The Dark Star 9s are actually strictly designed to actually pull a much more darker level. That's why it's called the Dark Star 9. They're basically strong points. It's contrast level, which that's what he should have did in the demonstration. He should have basically showed the Dark Star 9, my black technology, and his UV mix, and he should have pulled a star screen demonstration, which he did not do. He actually pulled lighter colors because he knew his screen was going to benefit higher because the two screens were darker. That's why. Like I said, I know his little tricks. So that's why I give him the challenge. Now, if any one of these big companies decided they want to do a challenge like this, I would have no problem because this is what the results would be. It's kind of like, since I do them ahead of time, it's kind of like telling them that, you know, if you want to do that challenge, this is what's going to happen. So I would advise you not to do that challenge. I would advise you not even do a side-by-side demonstration next to our technology because this is what's going to happen. And if they stick it in an ambient light controlled environment, they'll do the same thing. They've never tested against a black screen. They've only tested against white screen. So this is a screen that's way outside the elements. They don't even know how to handle it. So they would never go near it. Meanwhile, as we're doing this demonstration, look how beautiful the white levels are. Now, if you think this looks crazy, wait till we start doing 3D mapping off a black screen. That is going to look amazing. I can't wait for that. I got a couple more days to wait. The 12th. When the 12th my equipment gets here, I can finally start working on this stuff. I can finally start playing around with it. I was watching 3D mapping demonstrations yesterday. All the stuff you can do. I can make a giant eyeball come out of the side of my house. That'd be freaking cool. That'd freak my neighbors out. Yeah, the freak is he doing that? They don't know anything about that. The technology I do, I don't know what is around there. They have, I've seen a few around here with white projection screen setups. I'm like, ugh. Just want to jump over the yard and vandalize and just paint their screen. To my buddy like that, yeah, a white projection screen back there. Just going to jump over the yard and vandalize and paint their screen. They're like, ah. And the next day I'm like, what the freak? Why is my screen black? And turn the projector on, like, oh. That'll be my job, just jumping over in people's yards and just converting their screens over to black screens. So while you guys are watching that, let's get out my screen here. Just paint it. Oh, I love this. I love the freaking fabric portable screens. Oh, because you can take them anywhere you want. Oh man, there's so much fun stuff I can have with that screen. Let me figure out what we're gonna do first with it. I think I'm gonna hang it up and hit it with the projector. That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Too big. Still. That's too big. Can I tie it from here? Can I tie it? I can tie it from there. Can you tie it? Something to tie it away? Oh, no. I got those. Nah, there's too much. I got too much spongy into it. Too much spongy into it. I need something that's going to be to tie it up. That's what I want. Here. Love going fabric screens. Okay. All right, I need some tape for that. Oh, maybe tape. Yeah, I really need tape. That's not stiff, though. Yeah, that's stiff. Probably wonder why I'm making all that noise in the background because I'm sitting there messing around with the fabric screen. So I just put it up there a few minutes ago. Just want to test it out. So that's the screen painted all black. I'm going to play around with that today too. All right, so we're going to pause here because I think we already proved our point there. So let's switch over and see this black screen I'm working on over here. All right, so this is the fabric screen I just painted. I'm taking that one outside. Man, a lot goes on in my day, doesn't it? It's insane. I don't know if I'm going to sit there and say, oh, you only work 2 hours a day. Ha, ha, ha. I was up since 4 o'clock this morning, and I'm still not even done. And it's a Sunday at that. I work 7 days a week. Almost around 7 days a week. I shouldn't, but I do. All right, let me see. I mean, it's not really work, basically. If you love what you're doing, it's not work. All right, I got to get something to set all this on real quick. So I may have to move some furniture around a little bit. I told you when I paint them, all that wrinkle stuff pulls out of the screen. Yep. And once I stretch it out, boom, it'll be nice and tight outside. I haven't even had breakfast yet. No breakfast, no tea, nothing. I was so excited about getting up this morning and painting that surface, and then it led to one thing and another thing and another thing, and boom, here I am doing all this. Now, as I said it before, when it comes to painting fabric screens, as I said before, you want to prime them first. Now, priming is not so you make the screen better. It's basically just to get the surface to absorb in the paint. You don't want to paint it with the stuff I give you because then you would waste all your paint because the screen will absorb most of it. And then you'll get blotchy areas, which means that's some areas where some paint took in more and some took in less. So you want to basically put any kind of cheap paint in. It doesn't make a difference of the color. All you want to do is just to absorb as much as the paint as possible. So when you apply our surface onto it, it comes out like that. Now I gotta put a link at the bottom to show you how I painted that screen. It didn't take any time at all to do. Now also too, very important that, now mind you, I painted that screen already before, so it's already absorbed as much paint as it can take, and it's not gonna take anything more, all right? But if you are painting the screen for the first time, the fabric, keep in mind, put a huge sheet of plastic or tarp under your screen, especially if you're painting this in the side of the house. Doesn't make a difference if it's 100 inch or 120 inch. Put plastic under the screen. Keep in mind, as you're putting paint into the screen to get it to absorb, it is actually pushing out the other end, which will hit your floor. So make sure, you know, if you're going to do this in your driveway or wherever you're going to do it, keep you from destroying your area, put some plastic underneath of it. And also too, if you're going to dry it, and I got a video demonstration showing you how to do it, but I'm just giving you a few tips in here. When you go to dry it, make sure you get a little frog tape, and tape down the plastic. If you're doing it outside, you're doing it inside, the last thing you want is that plastic, a little air coming and blow up that plastic and land on top of your screen, and then that dries into your screen. You don't want that. So tape down your plastic edges around your screen, or tape it down before you paint your screen. There's little tricks like that to keep you from doing the process all over again, which you don't want to do. When you get it done the first time, you'll be done with it, right? All right. I'm setting up my projector here. Let me see. Oh, you think the screen's that dark, huh? My PS4 is in standby mode. Somebody forgot to charge it. I forgot. It's near dead. Where's your controller? I forgot to charge my controller. It's now dead. So there we are on the black screen. Yeah, projector's running all over the house right now. So how high is your electric bill? It's there. That's all I can say. It is there. Let's do yeah, I know, controller's dying. It's dead. It's almost dead. I know. Just give me a little bit more. I don't have the cables. There's cables that actually attach to this. I don't even know where my cables are at. Come on, just give me a little bit more juice. That's all I'm asking for, just a little bit more juice. Come on. Just push me over. Just a little juice. Come on. Please have enough juice to skip. Thank you. Everything's dying. My phone is dying at 15%. My charger is almost nearly dead. My PS4 is dead. It's dead. So that's working perfectly. The fabric screen right there. Yeah, we got a lot going on in the area, don't we? All right, people. Well, with that said, I'm done for the day. Well, not done for the day. Actually, I'm going to go have breakfast. Oh, I'm hungry. I got to charge my controller so I can get that ready. And I got to figure out a place where I'm going to string up the screen, because we're going to take this outside. So we're going to take this screen outside, and we're going to take this screen outside. Because this is the black technology, the extreme, actually not the extreme, but this is the 12. I did a demonstration on the deck outside. Final test for this screen had to be around 13 feet back at 1,000 lumens. But that's when I was doing it on the deck, and the backyard looked like Jurassic Park. But now I got the tree cut down, and the tree trimmers who came out there did a fantastic job. They actually cut the grass. Everything back there is beautiful. So, no, it's not an amazing yard, you know what I mean? But for me, it's great. So, I'm going to go back and get my 1,000 lumen projector and see how far I can pull that projector back at 6 o'clock in the evening past 13 feet. I wonder if I can go past 13 feet and and still get an image. So I'm going to do that test right there. And that's already officially, the length of our technology is 13 feet for the past that test, but I want to see if I can get it farther than that. So I'm kind of curious now, because I actually have more room downstairs than the deck. And there you are right there, people. There's a fabric projection screen that cost me, for 150 inch screen, 69 fabric surface, cost me $48. That's it. And that's what happens if you hit a Chrissy on a white wall. There you go. Shows you it's not the projector. The screen doing all. Sorry, the projector doing all the work. All right, thank you all. I gotta go eat because I'm starving like Marvin, his little brother Stevie. I don't know if you ever heard that one before. But anyway, I gotta get something, and then later on I'll be refreshed, back up, and we'll start doing some demonstrations outside today because the weather's fantastic and have some fun. Whew, I'm beat. All right, gotta go, and God bless.